Hey everybody, this is Justin with PumpPal, and today we're going to talk to you hard gainers, and we're going to give you some hard truths of what you need to do to get bigger. You don't quote unquote have a fast metabolism. You're not a hard gainer, um, and we're going to get into this discussion. If you're ready for a brutal truth, buckle up. If you like this kind of content, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. If you're on Facebook, please follow the channel. All right. We're going to be honest, right? And we're going to talk about what you have to do to get bigger. I've seen people in the gym constantly. They've been going for years, and they look exactly the same as they did on the first day. Why is this? You're not eating enough food. You think you're eating a lot of food. You're not eating a lot of food. All right. Accept it. You're not special. You don't have this extreme metabolism. You don't have, this horrible problem that you think you have. If this was true, there wouldn't be calorie calculators that are almost spot on about how many calories you could eat in a day. The thing is, your perspective on what a lot of food is skewed. Like, I don't jump in people's conversations when they're talking to me. I don't try to correct them. Try to work on it, right? Just let them think what they want to think. And if you want help, you will find help if you want to help. But if you keep believing this in your head, you're wrong. Your perspective is skewed. Example, the guy was talking about how much food he ate, and all day he ate 4 McChickens. 4 McChickens from McDonald's. Let's not even talk about the nutritional value of that. Let's just talk about how many calories that is. It's 1,800 calories. The average man can eat 2,500 calories in a day without gaining and losing weight. It's going to be skewed depending how big you are to start. If you're a 150-pound man, 2,500 calories if you work out is probably around your maintenance calories. You're under maintenance. You're not going to gain weight. You're not going to get bigger. Think of it this way. You want a house built, right? You bought the land for the house. You go to a construction company. You tell them to build you a house. But you're telling them they can't use concrete, they can't use wood, don't use plaster, don't use nails. You get the point, right? You're asking them to build a house without all the materials they use to build the house. The problem is the same way with your body. Your body has to have something to build with. It has to have food. Food gives you that, building products that you need to build muscle. The idea behind building muscle is you're going to do the reps. Every rep, you're pumping more blood into your muscles. That's what that burn is. That's why you want to get the burn. That's why you want to fail. Eventually, it hits the point it can't get any larger. It tears the muscles, right? And that's where the getting bigger part comes in. If you're over your calories, it's going to then repair that muscle, and it's going to repair it bigger. That's the goal. I think Arnold's analogy is probably the best analogy for bodybuilding, right? What you have to do is you have to build the base. The good news is if you are a hard gainer, quote unquote, skinny guy, you have that base to look at and you know what you have to improve. If you have shoulders that are bony, you're going to do shoulder press, you're going to do deltoid raises, you're going to try to fill those in. And with this analogy, is you look at it, what needs improvement? You gain a bunch of weight, right? You're going to get fatter, whatever you're comfortable with, right? If you're a skinny guy who is like, if a tall, skinny guy and you're 150 pounds, 160 pounds, you could easily gain 40 pounds, be healthy, and look way better when you're on the upper end of that BMI chart. I'm going to tell you that much. So don't worry about gaining some fucking weight because you're going to look better. You're going to get more muscle. On top of it, yes, you will gain fat. Okay, look at your base. It's a sculpture. You add layers to the sculpture, and then what do? They chip down to reform it. The idea behind that is you're doing a certain muscle group to get it bigger, have it heal. You're giving it enough food so it can build more muscle fiber. And then like I said, you're gonna gain fat. You're gonna gain fat. You go till you're comfortable with it. I personally don't care. I'll gain 40, 50 pounds at a time Eating. Because one, I started high in that BMI chart. Even down to my skinniest, I had a 4 pack. Um, I was around 186 pounds, right? And the BMI for me on the high end was 195 pounds. This gain phase, I went to 280 pounds. Um, a lot of fat on me. There is. Right now I'm back down to 267, and I'm dropping down to about 225 to see what it looks like, and then I'm gonna work from there. Right? Same concept. You gain it, you chip down at it. Um, you want to measure, right? You want to measure what's going on. Um, I measured my arms, I measured my chest, I measured my stomach, I measured my legs, and the weight was being put on my chest. My weight was being put on my arms. Yes, weight went on my fucking belly. Don't care. My goal is to get bigger, and I do what I have to do to get bigger. You go to the way you want to go, right? Get bigger, go down, take a look at what it looks like. Like I said, if you're super skinny, you could put on way more weight than you think. The taller you are, the less people will notice. The shorter you are, the more people will notice. Um, Advantage of the short guy is you're going to see it faster than someone who's taller. The taller guy is going to take longer for everyone to see it. Why? You have more space to fill. The shorter guy does not have more space to fill. Simple as that. Simple as that. You got to eat more. How do you eat more? First, you need to know how much you're eating. You need to measure your calories. How many calories can you eat and maintain? If you want it to be done faster, eat more calories. If you want slower, you still have to eat more calories, just less calories. That's what you have to do. Accept that and then do it. If you don't want to do it, then accept that. But you don't fool yourself that you have this fast metabolism. Another issue you could possibly have is you're eating a lot, but you're eating a lot of junk food, right? And that tends to be the skinny fat person, right? They are not only 160 pounds, but of that 160 pounds, they have a lot of fat on them. So they could probably be 130 pounds lean, 120 pounds lean. You're getting the drift here. In order to build a house, you need supplies. You need to eat a lot more than you think you have to eat. Your perspective is skewed of how much eating you have to do, or burn more or burn less calories. Try not to move so much, right? That's what you gotta do. I get a picture too, like when back in the day, I would gain weight on about 2,800 calories. 2,800 calories at that range. You eat it, and you eat it, and you have to do it every day. Eat. You have to do it every day, not one day, not one day, every day. You do this. Find food you like, you can eat. There's healthy ways to do it. Like an average day where I'm going to gain. This isn't every day, but usually what I would do on a day like say I know I lift heavy. Previously, I would do full body workouts Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The heaviest day I'm going to lift is going to be Monday. So I eat a shit ton of calories the day before that lift because I'm going to need that energy. What's a shit ton of calories? To give you an idea of what eating a lot is. This is coming from a person who's always ate a lot. I've never had trouble eating a lot, and I won't pretend I never had trouble eating a lot. But I know that's what your problem is. You have trouble eating a lot, and that's just what it is. Here's a day of eating a lot, right? I wake up in the morning, I have a bowl of oatmeal with mixed berries, 3 eggs, and a glass of milk. I then at noon, or sorry, not noon, but at 10 o'clock, I'll have a protein shake, an orange, and then at 10 o'clock, it's whatever I made. Usually I pre-plan my meals, and I usually eat the same thing for a couple of days. And let's say it's chicken Alfredo. Healthy enough for me, depends what your goals are. Chicken Alfredo with some broccoli and a glass of milk. Then at 2 o'clock, I'll have a handful of mixed nuts and maybe some grapes, peaches, watermelon, whatever fruit I decide to have for a couple of days. I eat that. Right? Then I go to the gym for 2 hours. I come back home, and this is where I just fucking up it, right? A large stuffed crust pizza. and order a chicken wings and cheesy bread. I'll eat that all in one fucking sitting. I am going to die eating that food. It's painful. I shovel it in. And then you deal with it. That's what you fucking do. You fucking deal with it. And then the reason why I go so ham on that one, well, one is I know I'm going to be working out hard the next day. In this case, now that I'm on a cut, I have a 6-day split, and I do a lot more cardio. So I don't do as much because I'm trying to lose weight, right? Now, usually, what I'll do on that Monday, even on a cut, I'll have like a double serving of chicken Alfredo. It depends. If I weighed in that morning and it's less than 2 pounds, I will not have the extra serving. I will not have the broccoli because I didn't lose the amount of weight I want to lose. I want to lose 2 pounds a week. If you didn't, you didn't meet your goal, don't reward yourself. But if I did meet my goal, and as I say, 2.7 pounds, I'm gonna eat big that night. Why? Because I don't want to lose the energy. Those carbs are gonna be in my system, and it's gonna fill my muscles with what's it called? Glycogen. If I'm right on that, I might be wrong on that, but it's glycogen. I'm pretty sure. And it pumps your muscles up. It's almost 400 grams of protein I'm eating in one sitting, right? Um, so although it's a lot of bad stuff, I'm going to use it the next 3 days, right? So I'm gonna work out hard on Monday, and that's gonna be energy storage. Usually your body takes about 24 hours to process it, and really start to use it. So that next day you're gonna have shit tons more strength. And what's the benefit of more strength is you're gonna get to failure faster. You can put some really heavy weight on, and you can really tear your muscles up, right? So that's the idea, and that's a picture of like what a lot of food is, right? That's about 4,500 calories. I don't eat it like in 20 minutes here. I slowly but surely shovel it down, and I try. I make myself eat it. Once I'm done eating it, I'm tired, and I go to sleep for like 12 hours. Why do I sleep for 12 hours? Because it's human growth hormone and testosterone that you're producing. I have another video on that. I kind of talk about it in my vitamins and supplements channel. You don't have to go to that extreme though. I mean, you could just simply eat more calories. The way I do it, I'm gonna put on more weight, definitely more fat. Um, but I generally feel like I get stronger faster. It happens faster, and I don't have to wait around for it to work. I seen a guy at the gym. He did pretty good. He was a pretty skinny guy. Over the years, he's definitely eating over his calories, and he's doing it every day. And it's probably less calories, and like he's gotten substantially bigger. But there's plenty of people I see, and I know it's what it is. They're the same size. They've been going to the gym for years. They still haven't figured out what they're doing wrong. They haven't tried to figure out what they're doing wrong, and they're making no progress. I hope this was a good hard truth for you. You have to eat more food. That's the biggest one, and then like, definitely if you're eating more food, um, make sure you're working out. Right, you definitely want to make sure you're getting muscle out of it. The good news is you're going to find out that you're going to heal faster. You're going to feel stronger. You're going to probably be lifting 40% more within weeks as long as you're consistently eating that amount of food that you're supposed to be eating, right? But you do you. You take this as you will. Like I said, it's a hard truth. I mean, I didn't want to go too hard on this video. I actually remade it because I was meaner in one of the videos. I didn't want to be mean. I just want you to get the point across of what you actually have to do. You either accept you have to do that and you do it, or you don't accept it and you remain the same size. And that's the hard truth. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, you have a good day.